Hi there. So I'm doing a really quick foundation and concealer summer tutorial. Winter versus summer is a huge difference, especially in Florida, because it does get so hot. I mean, winter's not that cold, so it's not like you have to adjust to that. But winter, you can pretty much put on whatever foundation you can go. You want to make sure it's moisturizing because tend to be drier in the winter. During the summer, I tend to be oilier. It's hotter outside, so you kind of have to adjust to that because melting is like my least favorite thing in the world. I hate putting on makeup and then by the end of the day you feel like you don't have makeup on, or it's like melted off and it's like running and you can see it like right here, things like that. If your makeup is caking up right here, right here, right here, you probably just need to exfoliate a little bit more right there, because that just means your pores are larger. You may have some, issues there that the makeup doesn't want to see because your skin. I find that helps. I find during the summer I exfoliate probably 5 days a week, maybe 6. You don't want to overdo it, so just, depending on your skin, but I can tell when my skin needs it. So I just want to make sure that I, keep it just to where that oil doesn't get built up and stuff like that. Tinted moisturizers, I love, love, love. I work outside a lot of the day. I work with kids. So I don't like doing, a face full of makeup when it's probably going to be sweating off, things like that. The tinted moisturizer I do like because you can just put it on and it go. It has SPF in it, stuff like that. I've done a few reviews of them before on Facebook. I'm trying out a bunch. I like Smashboxes, I like Urban Decays, I like Merle Norman's, I like Clinique's. I've heard good things about Cargo's, but I've never tried that one. But I heard that Cargo's could be a little bit thicker, so I don't know how I would deal with that. The Smashbox BB cream is pretty thick itself. But I do like it. But for summer, one of my tricks that I do like is to take a foundation. I like this Clinique Even Better. This is the brush that I love for foundation. It's a mineral powder brush. It's a Sephora Professional, number 45. Yes, it's like $25, I think, or $23 or $26. But I mean, it's an investment. It's for your face. You use it every single day. So I don't feel that bad paying something, especially when I take care of it and I know it's going to last forever and ever and ever. And I did how-to sessions yesterday and I showed them this brush, and I know that some people were like, wow, I never even thought about that. You can put it on with your fingers. I put it on with my fingers before, but this just allows, especially in the summertime, your fingers could have oil on them, and that oil on your face could just change that, it can just change the makeup. It can make your face oilier. It can just, I don't know, it just can affect things differently. So I like this brush. It's sanitary. It's easy to use. What I do is I wet it sometimes. And I don't mean soak it. I mean run water underneath the sink, put a little bit in your palm of your hand, and then just dab this. And then I actually dab the excess water like off on my hand. You want it to be damp, but not, not dripping, but not too wet at all. It is a fine line, but once you put it on your face the first time and you realize that it's too wet, you can just dab some off. I mean, it's a learning process. You can figure it out. And then I just put a little bit of foundation. And before I had said that you should put concealer on first, and that was a mistake of mine. When you're doing airbrush, I do concealer first. But when you're doing normal foundations, I do foundation first and concealer second. Just for the fact so I don't rub off that concealer, and waste it. But like I said, just wet your brush. I use this, I dab it around, it's on there. And then I just start by like buffing it. I already did this side of my face, obviously, so I'm just gonna do this side. Just buffing it into your skin. I really like this because you can feel it getting on your skin. You can feel that you buff it in. You can see Sigma, came with the my essential kit came with this, and it says foundation. I would never use this for foundation because I feel like it's like painting, and then you might have lines and streaking. I love this brush. I seriously recommend it. Just get right into your hairline. I mean, you don't want to like shove it into your hairline, but you want to just make sure. And when you put water, you basically are just shearing the foundation. So while tinted moisturizers are great, they can almost be too moisturizing and too liquidy, and they can tend to melt off more. So that's why I like to use water and a regular foundation, because it can just help sheer it out but still give you that coverage that you want without melting off as much. So you know, both are an option. But I do that, and like I said, take it down. No makeup lines, ladies. It's like a #1 pet peeve of mine. And it's as simple as that. And like I said, if you want it more sheer, you know, use a little less foundation. Make sure you add the water, and you can see it just gets really, it's still a nice coverage, but it's not as heavy as I would probably do it in the wintertime. Then I use this foundation brush, and you can use any concealer. I've talked about this Maybelline Age Rewind stuff. Either one. Right now I'm using the MAC Lip Cover Up in NW25, and just a little bit on your brush. And I just always do right here, because that's where my dark circles tend to be. And usually I would never do this with my eye makeup on, but I just did an eye makeup tutorial, so bear with me here. And then I just make sure that you get right there and in here and all the way underneath your eye. And then if you have any more trouble spots, you can just kind of blend them out. I always do concealer right here, because I tend to be more red there from exfoliating probably. Any spots on your face. This brush is nice just because it tends to just really blend it out for you. And that's pretty much it. Sorry about that. I'm a powder freak, kind of. I really love using powders. But during the summer, you do want to try and do a little bit of a lighter powder, because it is summertime, and because powder will, you know, powder is a double-edged sword, because it sets your foundation and it makes sure that it stays where it is and it absorbs oil. But too much powder can also make you look really caked up in the summer and things like that. So I'm using Clinique Transparency Powder brush, and I just a light bit, and then just, especially when you put that concealer, just a light amount. Usually I would do more than that. Like I said, I love powder though, for the winter time, but I try and keep it to a minimum during the summer. And then I'm going to use a little bit of blush. This is Gleeful by MAC, my large angle contour. I've tried a lot of other blushes from other places that are cheaper and things, and I still just love MAC blushes. They stay on really well. I have a friend, Lindsay, who tried a Sephora blush, and it just didn't stay put really. It didn't come off, and you know, she showed me, and literally, like, you had to keep applying it, and it would just wear off. So something to keep in mind. And then I really love this matte or Clinique transparency bronze. I just put a little bit on here and then just dust it. I just got back from my honeymoon, and I wore SPF on my face the entire time and not on my body, so I'm having to balance out my my tanness versus my pale face. So like this bronzer I would actually kind of put everywhere, just to make sure, especially on my cheeks over that blush. Because it's a matte bronzer, I can put it everywhere. If I put a shiny bronzer everywhere, I would look like an oil slick. It would be like just shimmer on my face, and that's just not attractive to me. Not over your entire face. So, and that's pretty much it. Just blend it out, make sure that you try and match. But I think that's it, and I hope that trick helps. And if you have any other questions, just contact me on Facebook, and I would be happy to answer them. Thanks.